Day 589 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 3606, coupon code validator. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as well. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. You are given three arrays of length n that describe the properties of n coupons: code, business line, and is active. The ith coupon has code of I, a string representing the coupon identifier. Business of I is a string denoting the business category of the coupon, and active of I is a boolean indicating whether the coupon is currently active. A coupon is considered valid if all of the following conditions hold. Code of I is non-empty and consists of only alphanumeric characters lowercase a through z, capital case A through Z, and 0 through 9, and underscores. Business line of I is one of the following four categories: electronics, grocery, pharmacy, or restaurant, and is active of I is true. Return any array of the codes, return an array of the codes of all valid coupons sorted first by their business line in the order electronics, grocery, pharmacy, restaurant, and then by code and lexicographical ascending order within each category. All right, y'all. So that sounds a little bit confusing at first. So let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example one, we have our input code equals an array of strings save 20, pharma 5, save at 20. Business line equals an array of strings restaurant, grocery, pharmacy, and restaurant, and its active equals an array of booleans true, 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 and true. The output is pharma 5 and save 20. Now let's figure out how we got this output from this input right here, right? So it says the first coupon is valid. So the first coupon is save 20 for the restaurant, and is active, is set to true. So just remember, each one of these indexes corresponds to the next index. So this index is index 0 corresponds to this index 0 right here in business line. And then this index 0 also corresponds to this index 0 and is active. Same, this right here corresponds to index 1. This is index 1 in code. This corresponds to index 1 in business line and also corresponds to index 1 and is active, and so on and so on. We have another one right here. Boom. And then one more right here. Boom. 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 So that's how that works. It says the first coupon is valid because we have saved 20 at this restaurant and is active is true. So all of these hold true, right? We need the following conditions to hold. All of these hold true. Code of I is non-empty and consists of alphanumeric characters. Right here, save 20 is alphanumeric characters. If there's no special characters, then it says right here, business line of I is one of the following four categories. And we're on the index 0. So restaurant is the category that we're looking at. Restaurant is one of the four categories, so that holds. And then is active of I is set to true. So is active at index 0 is set to true. Business line at index 0 is a restaurant. And then code at index 0 is save 20. And it has all of these, or it follows this characteristics right here, meaning there's no special characters. Boom. So the first coupon is valid. Boom. Sorry, y'all. First coupon is valid. Boom. Then we're going to go on to the second coupon. So the second coupon is invalid because it has an empty string, right? So it says up here, it says, let's see where it says, somewhere it says, oh, is a non-empty string. Boom, right there. Code of I is a non-empty string. But in this case, code of I, or code at index 1, is an empty string. So we know that's invalid right away. Boom. Then the third coupon, pharma of 5, it says third coupon is valid. Boom. Let me see. Sorry, y'all. Boom. So pharma 5, those hold, this holds true. The special characters, there is no special characters, so that holds true. Then we come down to, so pharma 5, we're at index 2, so we come back to index 2, that's pharmacy. Pharmacy is one of the categories, boom. Then index 2 and is active, is true, so that holds. So boom, pharma 5 is valid. Then finally, the fourth coupon has a special character, so it's invalid. So once again, this character has a special character right here, this @ sign, so that makes it invalid. So the only valid ones were save 20 and pharma 5. Boom. So then the pharma 5, remember we have to return them in lexicographical order or in this order. So that's why pharma 5 came first, but these two are the both valid coupons. So just in case that didn't make sense, let's take a look at example 2. In example 2, we have our input code equals an array of strings grocery 15, electronics underscore 50, and discount 10. Business line is an array of strings grocery, electronics, and invalid, and is active is set to false, true, true, or an array of booleans false, true, and true. The output is electronics 50. So it says the first coupon is invalid, right? So this coupon right here, grocery 15, is invalid because when we come down here, this is at index 0. So we come to index 0 business line, grocery, come up here. Grocery is one of the following categories, so grocery is good. But then we come down here to is active, and index 0 is set to false. So since index 0 is set to false and is active, that means index 0 code is invalid. Boom. So that's invalid. Second coupon, electronics underscore 50, is valid because this has no special characters right here in the code. Then we come right here to electronics. Electronics is one of the categories that we're looking for. Boom. Sorry, right here. Boom. And then come down here, and this is set to true. Boom. So that means electronics is valid, or the second coupon is valid. This coupon right here is invalid because this, even though this has no special characters, we come right here to business line at index 2, and it tells us right there it's invalid. So we know that we could stop right there, and this coupon is invalid. So electronics underscore 50 was the only valid coupon, so that's what we're going to return. Now, I hope that makes sense to y'all, and now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution is not that difficult at all. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an array that will store the valid business line and code pairs, and we're going to use tuples, so when we sort by business, so we can sort by business line first. So we're going to come right here, we're going to declare a variable called valid pairs colon, we're going to open up the square brackets, open up the parentheses. It's going to be an array of tuples, so we're going to say string comma string. This parenthesis right here, this is the tuple, and then we need an array of that, and we can just initialize it with a blank array like this. Boom. Now we need the number of coupons to process, so we're going to say let n equal code.count. Boom. Now we need to iterate through all of the coupons by index, but first we have a few helper functions that we need to take care of. So let's go ahead and create these helper functions first. So first helper function, we could come, or we could stay inside the main function, but we are going to say, sorry y'all, come underneath this. We come down here because it's going to be a helper function. We're going to say private func is valid. We're going to open up the parentheses. We're going to say underscore s colon. That's going to be a string. Then we're going to say comma, or not comma. That's it right there. And we're just going to return a boolean just like that. Open up the brackets. And now the coupon code must not be empty. So we're going to say guard exclamation point s dot is empty. Boom, else we could open up the brackets and we could just return false. Boom. Then we're going to come underneath that, and if we're going to see if every character must be a letter, digit, or underscore, right? Because this needs to hold true right here. So to handle that, we'll come underneath this and we'll say for CNS, we'll open up the brackets and we'll say if exclamation point parentheses C dot is letter or two vertical lines C dot is number or two more vertical lines C equals open up the quotation marks and we're going to pass in an underscore right there in between them. We're going to open up the brackets and we could just say return false. So what this means, this exclamation point means if C is not a letter or C is not a number or C does not equal an underscore, we already know that this won't hold true. So we could just return false right away. And if all characters are valid, then we could come right here and we could just say return true. Boom. But we need another helper function. So we're going to come right here. And for this helper function, we are going to say, oh, sorry, y'all, we could take this outside the main function. So let's just go ahead and do that right quick, y'all. Let's bring this right here. Boom. Then we come right here and we're going to create another helper function by saying private func. This is going to call this one check. Open up the parentheses. We're going to say underscore S colon. It's going to be a string and this is going to return a boolean as well. I'm going to open up the brackets and we're going to only allow coupons from specific business lines. So we're going to say return S equals open up the parentheses electronics. So we're just going to pass in these business lines that we need. Boom. So electronics, really we could just copy and paste it. Boom. But we did electronics. Then we come down here to vertical lines for or. We could say S equals. This time we could just copy and paste grocery. Boom. Then we could do it again for two vertical lines again. S equals. This time we could do pharmacy. Just copy and paste that right here. Then we could do it again, two vertical lines. S equals restaurant. So we need to make sure S equals any one of these. So boom. Then we come back up here to our main function where we were at first. And we're gonna it's time to iterate through all coupons by index. So we're gonna say for I and 0 ... less than n. We're gonna open up the brackets and only consider coupons that are active. So we're gonna say if is active square bracket I. Come outside of that, we're gonna open up the brackets and we're gonna check if the coupon code format is valid and if the business line is allowed. So we're gonna say if is valid. We're going to open up the parentheses. We're going to pass in code, square bracket I. Come outside of those parentheses. We're going to say and, two and signs. We're going to say check, open up the parentheses, pass in business line, square bracket I. Then we could come outside of that, open up the brackets, and we could say valid pairs dot append, open up the parentheses. We're going to say business line, square bracket I. Come outside of that, comma, code, square bracket I. Boom. Then, oh, sorry, this business line needs to be in, or both of them, we need to wrap this in parentheses as well. Because remember, it's a tuple, so we put this in the parentheses. Put that, close the parentheses right there. Boom, that should be good. Now we need to sort the pairs lexicographically, first by business line, then by code. So we'll come under, sorry, this should be 4, y'all. Boom. So then we'll come underneath this for loop right here, still inside the main function, and we're going to say valid pairs dot sort. Then we're going to open up the brackets and we're going to say $0 is less than $1. Boom. Then we're going to return only the coupon codes discarding business line. Boom. We're going to say return valid pairs dot map. Open up the brackets. We're going to say $0.1. Boom, y'all. That should be all she wrote. Let's give it a run. Make sure it runs properly. Okay, we got an error right here. What does it say? For C. Let's see, y'all. Let's see where we went wrong. It should be if, not is. So now let's run it. See if that did the trick. Okay, we got the wrong answer. So when we get the wrong answer, that means somewhere that the math is not mathing. It's not too much math going on here. So let's see. Let's check this. Let's see what it says. Case where we went wrong. Just a minute, y'all. Hold on now. Okay, so this is the one that went wrong. Our output was a blank array. It should be electronics. Oh, so right here, that's why we copy and paste, y'all, is the spelling electronics. Boom. Now let's run it. See if that does it. Hopefully that does the trick and it's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. And look at that, y'all. 12 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, y'all. So with that being said, make sure you get one more look at the code. This is the top part. This is the bottom part. And yeah, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.